life, as she is manfully strong and fearless. And on the day of judgment, as believed in Christianity, her courage will make her victorious. Thus, the poem ends with a strong will, hope, and determination that good will ultimately comes to her. Very well, students, you'll have heard the poem and what Charlotte Bronte means to say of life. That we should never give up on life, no matter what hurdles, sorrows enter our life, because it's just a temporary thing and it passes just as the passing cloud. Now, let's study something more about how to critically evaluate the poem. What is called the critical appreciation of a poem? Listen carefully. A critical appreciation of a poem requires one to analyze the poem as a whole and critically provide insight into the elements which make up the poem, such as imagery, structure, rhyme, rhythm, the overall message or central theme of the poem, or the purpose of the poet. There are few points to remember while writing a critical appreciation of a poem. First, the title of the poem. Second, name of the poet. Next, central idea or the central theme of the poem. Rhyme scheme. Figure of speech. All the figures of speech that come across the poem need to be mentioned, and you need to pick out one figure of speech, name and explain it. Next, write a special feature that comes in the poem. Next, favorite line or the lines that catch your attention across the poem. And the last point, why do you like the poem? Or if you don't, why do you do not like the poem? Now I'll read to you all the critical appreciation of the poem. Listen carefully. The name of this lovely poem is Life. The poem is written by none other than the well-known Charlotte Bronte. The writer wants us to understand that life is not a dream. Life passes away fast, hence we must enjoy it and make the most of it when we can. We must always bear in mind that there are ups and downs in life. We should never lose hope when there are mishaps and problems in our life. We must always hope that things will go right soon. The rhyme scheme of the first verse is AB, CB. The rhyme scheme of the rest of the poem is AB, AB. Some of the rhyming words are say day, spring's wings, bear despair. The entire poem is lovely to read, but what appealed to me the most are the lines. For gloriously, victoriously can courage quell despair. There are several figures of speech such as personification, alliteration, interrogation, etc. The figure of speech that appealed to me, yet hope again, elastic springs. Metaphor. I like the poem very much because it gives us the message never to give up. Sometimes sorrows may win over happiness, but hope will never be far away. The figures of speech have implied meaning that add to the poetic intensity. The rhyming words add music to the poem. These are the special qualities of the poet. Let's see to some of the important figures of speech. First one, metaphor. Let's read the meaning together. Metaphor, indirect comparison between two unlike objects without the word as, like, so. It has a direct comparison with what is being told. Let's see some of the examples. Example 1. He was the lion in the fight. Here we are mentioning that he was the lion in that fight which took place. Example 2. She is